to imagine some kind of martial law being implemented here in the United States, because now we are a country at war, and there are certain regulations and civil liberties that are being violated, just like we've seen with the Patriot Act in the past. Of the country being shut down by the government in the public interest, and so these outcomes are not just theoretical. This is where we are headed if we don't change course.
Yeah, I'm concerned about all that, and I'm concerned about the lack of understanding that people have about the implementation of things like a digital currency that is centralized and that's controlled by the government.
Right.
That scares the shit out of me.
Absolutely.
Because that's what and Maxine Waters, who has been promoting this, said that we need this to compete with China, which is so crazy.
Yeah.
It's like saying we need communism to compete with communism. Because that's what it is.
Yeah.
If you want to compete with communists, you have to be a communist. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, digital currency that's centralized by the state's terrifying, because they'll connect it to a social credit score system. They connect it to a social credit score system. Tells the average, like you said on the Joe Rogan Experience, we're going to go and eliminate your ability to fly.
Right.
You can't fly, you can't travel, you can't buy gas anymore.
Yep.
Which is what they do in China.
It's all within the realm of possibility. And you look at that, and what is the recent thing of, I think Elizabeth Warren was pushing for credit card companies to start tracking people who buy ammunition and firearms and report that to the government.
Visa is going to change the way they categorize gun sales. So they'll put gun sales in a different realm of like just of regular sales, which is to let people know, like, hey, we're watching.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And not just because, like, oh, well, I'm just curious. No. There's a regulatory follow-up action to that violation of privacy.
Jimmy, anything happy you talk about, Tulsi? When you and I talk outside of this, it's always very happy. We're a happy person.
I'm full of aloha, Joe. That's why I'm warning people about the impending doom of us of where our leaders are taking us. And really, it is that it's that care for each other and for our planet and our future that should encourage us to be involved and to be engaged. And as disheartening as our election systems and politics can be, we've got to know that we have to be the change. No one else is going to come and save us. Our founders envisioned this country as a country of, by, and for the people. Many in our government have forgotten that, unfortunately. They're not going to wake up one day and magically remember. It's up to us to bring about that change, and the system that our founders set up for us, it has its flaws. We've got a lot of work to do on it, with the money, lobbyists and PAC money infecting corrupting our politics, election integrity, making sure that, people are actually trusting the system and that their votes will be counted as they were cast. There's work to do, but these changes can only come about when we are all informed and engaged in the process. So one piece of news. Last time I came on your show, I talked about launching a podcast.
Yeah.
I'm finally doing it.
Fuck out of here, loser!
Specifically to be able to really, I'll go and do different interviews. They're like 4 to 5 minutes long. I have like, okay, cool. I can say 4 sentences in that period of time, but to actually take a deep dive into examining, okay, here are the challenges
You're a fucking literal faggot.
Here's how we identify what the problem is and the cause, and here are some of the things that we need to be able to do to solve these problems.
Conversations. And, I think it took until podcasts existed where people realized the value of talking about one particular subject for over an hour.
Yeah.
Like when we were talking about gender identity and the craziness of woke culture, like that's uninterrupted. It keeps going on and on. You could never do that on a network television show. You get interrupted by a commercial. We'll be right back, and the audience claps. I'm like, this is madness. Like you can't have a nuanced, important conversation about a subject that is very complex.
Exactly.
Quickly. You can't do it quickly.
And really, when you think about it, all of these different things, you might see a headline here, a soundbite there. There's always so much more to it, and looking at different people's views and actually encouraging those conversations and helping people just to understand each other, right?
What are you, like 12, dude?
The good news is people recognize.
Is that your dad's car?
And that's one of the reasons why podcasts are so huge.
Okay, you worked,
like
right.
You
got a piggy bank?
Off of this
you got a piggy bank?
Will be so much bigger.
I'm going to work, loser. Bye.
You can have anywhere else, which is weird.
Fuck you. Fuck
right?
you. Fuck you.
But that's why.
Yeah.
It's because people recognize, like, hey, this is not. It's not satisfying to watch these 5-minute chunks on
You
CNN
fucking
with people
snowflake.
talking over each other through different screens. You know,
is that a microaggression? Should I microaggress you?
All right, well, thank you.
Should I microaggress you?
Click, we solved nothing.
Beat it, jerk off. Get the fuck out of here.
Site gain. See ya,
Fuck
bye-bye.
you.
Yeah.
And here's Pfizer. Brought to you by Pfizer. It's like, this is wild. Like, this is a dystopian Mike Judge movie.
Yeah, and it's not an accident that you never hear people on those channels saying, hey, you should be careful about what Pfizer is telling you because of the drugs or the vaccines or whatever it is they're trying to sell you. And it's not an accident that,
75% of all television advertisement is pharmaceutical.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
It is
and
absolutely
we are
insane.
one of 2 countries on Earth that allows that. The other one is New Zealand. And New Zealand is much more strict than us.
Yeah. And I mean, this is a huge other topic. I know you've talked about